Hello, everyone. Good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you're tuning in from. We are so excited to have you here today. We're going to go ahead and get started with today's webinar, Tips and Tricks, Workloading Calculator to Member Benefits Tool. So welcome to the webinar. We're thrilled you're here. I'm your host, Hannah Kennedy Oates, and on behalf of ISSA, I welcome you. A few housekeeping items before we get started. We will answer all questions at the end of the presentation. You all have a chat box available on your screen that you can send us questions to. We'll be able to see that and we'll be able to reply, but we will answer all of those at the very end. We are monitoring, so don't worry, we'll be able to see your question. You will also receive a copy of the presentation when this is over. So within the next couple of days, we'll be sending out an email to you with the presentation. No worries, if you're taking notes, we'll have that for you. And now let me introduce our speaker today. She grew up in the Jansan industry. Her grandfather founded Kellermeyer Company in 1944. The company grew to service 3 states with janitorial and packaging supplies. Her father and uncle founded Kellermeyer Building Services in 1967. She learned how to run a swing machine at the age of 6. Jill officially began her career in 1992 in the distribution business. She started as an outside salesperson and was named president in 2005. In 2014, Kellermeyer was sold to Nichols. Jill worked for Nichols, ensuring a smooth transition for customers, team members, and other stakeholders. In 2017, Jill made the decision to leave Nichols and the Jansan industry to focus on family. During this time, she attained her real estate license. At the end of 2018, AA Solutions reached out to Jill for insight on their janitorial manager software. She attended ISSA 2018 with them and realized how much she missed the industry and joined the company upon returning from ISSA as Director of Business Development. Without further ado, please join me today in welcoming Jill Kegler. Take it away, Jill.
Great, thank you, Hannah, very much. And let's see, we're showing my screen. I appreciate the introduction and hoping here in a moment everybody can, oopsies, hang on. I knew that was going to happen when I did this. All right, we're here today to talk about the workloading tool. I joined Janitorial Manager because I really loved the software they had for the janitorial industry, one of them being a workloading and bidding tool. This is what ISSA has, and I'm here. It's a little bit complicated when we first look at it, a little bit overwhelming, but it makes a lot of sense after a bit of practice, and it's a very worthwhile and valuable tool for anyone in the industry, whether or not you're a building service contractor or an in-house provider. We're all charged with having clean, safe, and healthy work environments, but managing our budgets, our employees, and it can be a struggle at times. The tool is a great way to look at all of the costs involved in doing business, how much time is needed to do a business, and just to provide guidance down the way. Setting up, there's 2 parts of this tool: setting up the tool and then using it to do financial calculations. The more thought and time put into setting up the tool, the better it will work for you in the long run, and the easier the tool will be to use as you move forward. This works from the right to the left. At the end, you'll be using locations predominantly, but to start off, we start with the steps. The steps come preloaded with all of the ISSA cleaning times and tasks. The 612 cleaning times and tasks are all listed. Now, perhaps your business does something that's not covered in the 612 cleaning times. For instance, I live in Toledo, Ohio. We have a lot of snow. A lot of our facilities have to clean snow off the sidewalks in the winter, you have the ability to add your own step by putting in a name, clean snow off walks. Your time per square feet, let's say 100 square feet. Category, this is really a miscellaneous service. You don't have to find a subcategory. The description is, shoveling snow, which hopefully we don't have to do for another few months around here. And then how much time it takes to shovel 100 square feet. I'm going to say it takes 10 minutes because I'm pretty slow. And we save it. And now as I look at my steps, again, we have all of the ISSA 612 steps, but at the end, we have steps I've added. So shoveling walkways, maybe there's a koi pond. This is our demo account. So a lot of people have koi ponds and they need to clean them out. So become familiar with the steps, the ISSA 612 cleaning times, and then just keep in mind you do have the ability to add your own steps. Once you're comfortable with the steps, we move on to different cleaning activities. The activities are all sorts of tasks that you do in your job that are not related and don't have square foot measurements. The ISSA 612 times, they might have a time based on mopping a floor and the speed per square feet, or they're going to have a task, say, cleaning a toilet, and that is how much time it takes to clean an individual toilet. So again, activities are all the only way to say it is the non-square foot related activities. On your ISSA calculator, when you sign in, we have put a few default activities in to look at. And then if you want to keep them, we have a handy little copy tool over to the side. But say we want to add a new activity. We're going to find out. We're going to add a new activity, and I don't know where my calculator is going. There we go. Adding a new activity. Well, cleaning an elevator. We'll find out why that is choosing not to work at this moment. But we can add our associated steps in cleaning an elevator. And again, we have default activities such as refilling a roll towel dispenser. And our step from the ISSA 612 is to check and replace all the roll towels. And then we can copy that activity and have it added. And I may have to switch to my other location. Hang with me while I pull up another workloading calculator. Oops. Okay. We're going to add, this is the ISSA calculator, we're adding an activity such as a break room sink, clean the break room sink. And then we're going to look for the associated step. There is a search function that we can start narrowing down. We're going to say, here's our kitchen sink, and we are clean our stainless steel kitchen sink, and then we are going to save that activity. Once you have built out all of your activities that you do on a daily basis, you're going to move on to your area templates. The area templates are designed for all of the various locations in a facility that you're going to be cleaning. For example, with our default templates, we have a lobby, say it's a hard floor with a koi pond. These are just suggestions on the different areas in a facility or the different activities you'll be performing at a facility that you could build out. So this one is, we're going to go to our hard surface that we're going to be auto scrubbing in a lobby. When cleaning a lobby, we're going to be having steps associated with square feet. In this case, we're auto scrubbing a lobby with a hard surface with a 17-inch walk behind scrubber. I do not have any associated activities. Again, this is just a sample. Another case might be cleaning a restroom. We have some steps associated with square feet, such as we're going to mop and rinse using a single bucket and wringer. But then we also have some activities not associated with square feet that we had built out. Wiping a sink, swab mopping a toilet, refilling a roll towel dispenser. You could continue to add, wipe down hand soap dispenser, refill hand soap dispenser, refill toilet paper roll. Wipe down changing table, different activities that we're judging the time based upon the fixture. So again, area templates, areas in the building. You could also do a task such as scrub and recoat, which is not in conjunction with a specific area of a building. It's a specific work outcome you are doing. Again, steps with scrub and recoat, scrub with an auto scrubber, apply your floor finish, whatever steps you're going to take to do a scrub and recoat job. Again, thinking through this, the more you build out your activities and your area templates on the front end, the easier it will be to use this tool in an ongoing basis. Once you're done building out your activities and your area templates, you'll be going to your locations. I have two here that I had started. We're going to say a Class A office building. So I'm asking, whenever I want to add a new location, I would click my tab and it would add a new location. But in this case, I've already built out a Class A office building, which that's my market segment. The address of the facility is going to ask me the floor, and you just keep hitting the arrows on the left to hit all the drop downs. And for each floor, it's going to ask me then to select an area template. These are the area templates that I had previously set up. So if I wanted to change this room to the second lobby, And I'm going to select, in this case, this is a lobby that I am going to, small lobby, I'm just going to damp mop it because the square foot in the lobby is about 500 square feet. And then I'm going to remind myself that I've got a terrazzo floor, and I'm going to save that. Previously, when we built out the area templates, I mentioned that we will have steps measured in square feet. In the case of this restroom, mopping the restroom, and then activities. When that gets carried over to the location, it wants to know the square feet to perform all the measurements associated with square feet, but it's also going to pull up the non-square foot related activities, which are usually activities around fixtures, and you will be entering in the number of the fixtures that you're dealing with. So in this case, we're going to say they have 4 sinks and 6 toilets and 3 towel dispensers. We'll go ahead and save that, and it's going to change all of our measurements. Once you're comfortable with how you have your location built out, and I'm going to move over to my other one. So in my test example, I've already pre-built out the different type of facilities that I might be cleaning, from a long-term care facility, an elementary school, a middle school, and I can build all of these out. If there's something missing and I want to add a new location, again, I would enter in what is the location that I'm cleaning, and we will say, a workout facility. I can pick the market segment that I'm cleaning. It's going to be an other. And we're going to say the main facility that we are cleaning. Excuse my typos. And we're going to say this workout facility is very large, and it has 2 floors. But I'm not going to build out the second floor yet, because the second floor is very similar to the first floor. And it's got a couple of rooms to it. It has it's a fitness facility, so it does have a locker room, restroom for men. And I can copy that, and I can edit, and I can make a locker room and restroom for women. I can add a new room and say I'm also have the lobby. We're going to put the koi pond in there because that keeps popping into my head. Koi pond. And then it has a break room for the workers, and of course it has the fitness center. Once you've built out the rooms, again, you pick what template you've already built out that you plan on using. So in this area, we would be finding our restroom. And we'll use this restroom. And we're going to do another restroom. And continue to save these. And then it might ask me for fixtures involved in it. Once we're done building out the entire facility, I said in this one, maybe there was another floor. Again, it has a copy button. So now I just made a copy of the floor, the previous floor, and I can edit as I see fit. Once I've built out my location, I have access to a calculator. The calculator allows me to put a suggested bid amount, but this is also helpful for in-house providers to look at the staffing you need to get your job done and the associated costs with your cleaning organization. So if we do an average hourly rate, we're going to say $10 per person. We're going to say our employees work about 20 hours a week, and we're only going to be cleaning this building about 5 days a week. Our labor to revenue rate runs about 35%. Our supply rate is about 3%, and our overhead rate is 20%. This calculator will be pulling the total square foot from your build. I'm going to tell you about approximately how many labor hours, depending on the square footage and the tasks you've entered, total weekly labor hours, your monthly costs and supplies and overhead. Down in the bottom right, it's going to show you the number of full-time employees you need. Again, this is all based on the criteria you entered and a suggested bid amount if you are charging for your services. You can then play with that bid amount by using the margin calculator. You could plug in, this is my target bid amount. We're going to do $3,000 is my targeted bid amount. And then I can plug in the same information as before. 5 days a week, do our supply rate, and keep adding. And then we can see what our monthly gross margin is going to be, and we can continue to move our sliders and our amounts so that you can see what you are looking at if you're going to be charging for your services or for the amount of people you need to get the job accomplished. It's a very quick, high-level overview, but let me get into some tips and tricks and shortcuts. Again, I sound like a broken record. The more thought and work you put into building out your activities and your area templates before building out a location, the better off you are going to be. The first time you go through this, it can be a little bit overwhelming. The more you use it, the faster it becomes and the more worthwhile data you can get out of the system. Some of the tips and tricks I have found along the way. When I originally built out a location, I got extremely specific. And when I was building out a floor, I might put in, office number 1, 100 square feet, and I'd put all of the detail of everything I needed to do in that office. And then I would copy it and say office number 2. And I'm doing the exact same thing on office number 3. and it was quite tedious. Then I found the shortcut. In this case, I'm cleaning 10 offices, and the 10 offices together average about 1,200 square feet. I'm doing the same exact services in each office. It's just easier to put them all together in one. If you forget an activity or a template as you're going through this and you're like, oh, I completely forgot I needed to do that, it's not too late. You can go back and add and adjust, add new activities, add new templates. They will show up on the work that you are currently doing. Another thing is, as I said, you can use this if you're not looking at cleaning an entire organization, but you need to know, I've got this special project coming up. I need to scrub and recoat a very large area. We're going to say this is a giant cafeteria in the student union of a Big Ten university that needs to be scrubbed and recoated. I'd already built out a scrub and recoat in my templates. So I just went to my locations. I did the Big Ten University, student union, floor. I'm looking at the cafeteria. I picked my scrub and recoat. I put in my square feet. How many people am I going to need to clean or scrub and recoat the 15,000 square feet? I can click on my calculator. And I'm just going to go with my employees usually work about 25 hours a week. And it's going to take about 3 people to do that much work. Another way you can use this tool, go back to my Class I office building, and in this case, with the lobby, this first lobby, it's pretty big. It's about a 5,000 square foot lobby. I'm doing this for explanation. And I'm looking at damp mopping the lobby. If I click on the calculator, like before, I'm going to go back to my hourly labor rate of $10 an hour. All I need to add, and I see that for the entire Class A office building, if I'm mopping the lobby, it's going to take me 39.76 weekly labor hours, and it costs me about a little over $1,700 to clean this entire Class A facility that has a 5,000 square foot lobby that I am damp mopping. Again, this lobby damp mop is an area template I built and said, I'm going to damp mop using a single bucket and wringer. If I go back to my location and say, look here again, say my $10 an hour, it's still going to take me 39.76 hours. $10 an hour, it's going to cost me about $1,700. If I go to, I want to see what happens if I auto scrub that lobby. Again, this is another area template I build out. And now I'm same thing, but I'm going to auto scrub it with my 17-inch. I'm going to go back, hit my calculator, and I forgot to hit save. All of a sudden, my time went down significantly, and so did my cost. So you can start playing with, if I do an activity in a different way, how much am I going to save? How much more efficient am I going to be, that I can free up my employees' time to do either more or to save money in the long run. As I keep using this tool, I keep finding new and unique ways to use it. I think the biggest is looking, how many people am I going to need to complete the job? You can use this to definitely manage my staff better. And also take and say, here are the expectations when we're cleaning. I've already built out the templates and the locations. This is what I'm going to do when I'm asked to do a job. So with that, that's a very high level overview, but I'm sure you've got some specific questions. So why don't we open up for a few questions?
Thank you so much, Jill, and thank you everyone for tuning in. We do have a few questions here on the doc, and the first one is, can one print out a work card based on the areas created?
We do not have a print on this yet. Stay tuned. It is coming. Probably the best way would be to do a screenshot and print from your screenshot, or do a copy and paste of the information. You do have the ability to do a copy and paste as well.
Excellent. The next question was, if there are a couple of different floor types in an area, are you able to input various floor types when you're creating this?
Yes, there is an option to put in a different floor type. Next to lobby hard surface, we're going to auto scrub it. We have our VCT floor type, but you know what? The hallways are carpeted, so we can select the type of floor for each area that we are cleaning. With this office, I had lumped it together to say 10 offices are carpeted. I could do 5 offices that are carpeted and 5 offices are VCT tile. So I am able, in that case, I would have to separate the 2 types of offices, but you can pick the flooring type based upon the room that you're in.
Excellent. Another question we have, is there a way to set your target margin using the suggested bid calculator?
With the market, it's more of you'd have to play with your target bid amount to find your gross margin. So there is a little bit of playing with the system to find the margin that you want. We do not have a plug the margin in and then it calculates for you. It is plug in the bid amount first, and then we'll adjust the margin at that point. But that's a great idea, and we can definitely have that for a future enhancement.
So we have just a couple more questions here.
I like answering questions. It makes my part way easier.
How does one obtain the calculator if the minimum wage is higher than $10?
Oh, you can enter in. It does have to be the average amount, but I can change my hourly labor rate into $15 an hour. I can put whatever I want in for my hourly labor rate. It just does have to be an average, because I do get this question often. Well, one of my employees makes $10 an hour, but the other one's been with me longer. They make $12 an hour. Again, this is an estimate. This is giving you a good overview, but you do have to use your best judgment. In a case where I've got 2 employees, I generally default to either the average or a little bit on the high side, just to make sure that I'm covering all of my costs.
Another question here is, how would you address multiple surfaces in one room?
By building out various templates, I'm thinking this might be surfaces. I mean, it could have a half carpet, half tile floor. Probably build out the room separately as half and half would be the best bet. You know, lobby carpeted half, lobby tile half, and then I would build them out as separate rooms, even though it is all one.
Okay.
And I can build these out, like, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. That's like what I started here on this example, that in my lobby right here, I've got my auto scrub vinyl composite tile of 5,000 square feet, but say it's actually 5,500 square feet. You know, the second half of the lobby, I'm going to do it as, in this case, I'm just, because I don't have a template built for it, I'm going to say a carpeted and save that, and it would adjust as needed. Okay.
Another question here. You have different pre-built task lists associated with different vertical markets?
That is on, we do not have those in the ISSA calculator yet. All we have right now built out is the Class A office building and then a scrub and recoat project. We steered away from that because every ISSA member is different with how they are using the calculator, and we wanted to make it usable for all end users and not put a ton of data into it. However, we might be able to help you out with that based upon feedback. But for right now, every member is going to use the calculator in a different way. So we wanted to leave it open for members to build out the calculators with what works for their business, not an overall, hey, you're going to do it exactly this way. But we can give you guidance and feedback on how to build those out.
Okay. And then another question here. Once a bid is built, can the data be downloaded in detail to a spreadsheet or another task scheduling software?
That cannot be done through the ISSA workloading and bidding tool. However, with a product through Janitorial Manager, I'm going to put in a plug for my own company, we do have that capability through our website, which is a purchase software to help you run your cleaning operation. So Janitorial Manager does have that, where it could be downloaded and exported and emailed.
Okay. Couple more questions. Someone is asking, is there a Cliff Notes version? I'm not sure I'm going to remember everything.
There is. I have set a PDF document, as you mentioned at the beginning, will be sent to everybody. We do have on the ISSA site as well, which of course I just had to have disappear on me. On the ISSA website, when you're a member, if you go to your member benefits and to the ISSA workloading and bidding tool, we did build out videos that are probably better than what I just did now. And it does give step-by-step with screenshots on how to use it. There's 2 videos. One of them is setting up the workloading and bidding tool. The second is on using the workloading and bidding tool with the calculator itself. So 2 separate things, setting it up and then using it. There is an overview of the workloading and bidding tool as well, because we do see where it can be used not only for building service contractors and in-house providers, but Distributors can use this as well to justify the products that they're selling, and manufacturers can find value in it as well.
And then another question here. What if my staff works less quickly or slower than the ISSA times?
Okay, that can be done back in the steps where I said you could build your own steps. Now, the ISSA steps cannot be edited as they are. However, you can add your own step and say, you know, my step is, and you could do, in this case, an overview of either a specific step, such as, you know, mop floor with we're gonna use a big 24-inch flat mop, 24-inch microfiber flat mop, and then, hard to type when people are watching, and say for 1,000 square feet, my category is hard floor care, and description, it will be, you know, flat mop floor, and then you would put in your own time, say it's going to take me 20 minutes. We're just pulling the first number that pops into my mind. Then in your steps, you've built it out. If a step has an X or an edit button next to it, it will be there. I forgot to hit add new step when I did that, but you can build out your own steps and times in the system. And then you can edit those along the way as well. So if it has an edit function, you can change it. You can add your own steps if you don't like the times that are suggested or through the ISSA standards, and you do have people who work faster or slower. You can look at the exact same step, but you just have to build it out yourself.
I think we've got time for one more question here, and it's about frequency. How do we handle frequency, and is there a way to accommodate for less frequent activities in the calculator?
As it is right now, it is not available in this version. That is to come. We do have it with the janitorial manager software. It's there. We do not have it in the ISSA. It has just recently been released with the other platform. So we are aware that there is an issue with that, and we are working to make those changes. But you do have access to that through the janitorial manager software.
Well, thank you so much, Jill, for presenting. This is an excellent walkthrough of the calculator, and thank you to everyone for tuning in. As Jill mentioned, this is available as an ISSA member benefit, which means you must be logged in to access the full benefit of the calculator, and you can do so on the home page of ISSA. You just have to click login, enter your information, and then an option to click on the workloading calculator will pop up, and you will be able to access it. Everyone, thank you. Have a safe weekend. If you're here in the U.S. celebrating Memorial Day, have a wonderful weekend, and everyone else also have a safe weekend, and we will all be in contact throughout the year. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone.